Well, what we see, and a lot of people, and this is what I say over and over again, everybody that comes to Newquay in the summer, all they see is sun, surf, beautiful beaches, great nightlife, wonderful restaurants, people that are happy. And what those people don't see is the massive underbelly of poverty that we've got here. My name is Monique Collins and I'm the manager of DISC. DISC is a drop-in share centre. DISC was taken over by myself 5 years ago. At that time it was a homeless charity, really. It was a cup of tea with a bread roll, and there were probably about 10 people that would pop into the local church. That's where we started. And when I took it over, I thought, well, this is not the answer because it's like a sticking plaster, so I need to really do something. So I started to bring in all the relevant different agencies, housing, at Action, which is drugs and alcohol teams, debt advisor, chiropodist, hairdressers, you name it. Before I knew it, we were bursting out of the seams at the church, so I decided that actually we needed to move, so we moved to another premises. That didn't work out, so that's how we eventually ended up here. Then at the beginning of COVID, all the homeless people were taken off the streets and were put into a caravan park. And we were asked, would we please supply all the food for them? So we did breakfast, lunch and dinner, and we started very low-key with 250 meals a day. And to date, we have pushed out 350,000 meals because we've gone absolutely bonkers and off the rails. So what we now see is families that are in desperate situations. We see individuals that are in desperate situations, so they come to us for food, they come for us for electric top-ups, they come for gas, they come for housing advice, they come for debt advice. If you ask me what this DISC does, the better question is to ask me what doesn't DISC do, because there isn't much that we don't do. Yeah, I worked for social service for children in care for 17 years. And I then retired, looked after my mother who was terminally ill, and I just was at home really doing nothing. And then a friend of mine who was actually running DISC at the time came over because she had computer problems, and as she was sat in my living room, she said to me, actually Monique, you would be the ideal person to take DISC over because we've come to an end with it all. Would you consider it? So I thought about it and I thought, well yeah, why not? It's something to do. So I took it on and I've never looked back. These people are a hell of a lot worse off, as you can imagine. So if you've got to find an extra £250 for rent and you've also got the £100 that's been taken off you from Universal Credit, then you've got to make ends meet. And it's always easy to spend extra money, but if you haven't got the extra money, it's very, very difficult for families to bring it back, to actually bring it back in line. Because what we now see is we see London prices and Cornwall wages, and the two don't mix because the income is not high enough to be able to pay your bills, and that's a big problem. What I want to say, and I've said this over and over again, is we need central government to change their attitudes. They're all sat there in their nice, beautiful big houses with their massive wages, where we now have people that are living in tents, in caravans, and have got no housing and are having to sit in a hotel room. So what I would say we need, and we desperately need, is we need good old-fashioned council houses back, so that people can actually work and afford to live and have a decent life. Because nobody can have a decent life at the moment because rentals are just far too expensive. If you can find something, as soon as a room goes up, you don't get one person apply for it. You get about 60 applicants, if not more, for one room. So it's very, very difficult times at the moment, and that's what I want. I want change. It needs to change. Something has got to give.